Good morning on this first full weekend of fall. I'm at the 31st Heritage Festival at McConnell's Mill State Park. And this is where history comes alive. You'll get to experience history from the years when the grist mill was operational, and that was from 1852 to 1928. And here pretty soon they're going to be getting ready to fire off the cannons.
A round ball can shoot about 1,600 yards. It's got a solid shot, as well as their bird. Gun in the center would have been a rifle piece of artillery. Right at the beginning of the Civil War, they started rifling artillery. Rifles used so they would steal.
Books free.
Not really. Like, he actually walked over and he humiliated me. I did.
If you ever have a chance to visit Gettysburg, I highly recommend it.
You would face the horses in, that way they did
the wheels and everything on them.
really couldn't get away from
Shrapnel. See the round ones over there with all the balls in there? They explode. All of them have stuff in. They'd shoot them over and chop their heads and they explode and come down and boom, shrapnel.
You wanted big chunks, you didn't want it to disintegrate. You wanted the big chunks flying out, hitting people and stuff. Tube alone in that middle one's 900 and some pounds. Just the tube on that. The other one's probably 8 something, and this one's about 220 here.
You guys, everyone knows a loss, this is what they say.
It's a lot of weight.
wish I was dead.
And throughout the day, there's live music.
Punishment, death was too kind. Got 20/30 vision and walking around blind. She's gone and left me, I feel so alone. I carry a heart that is heavy like stone.
That's interesting about the shrapnels. To the day he passed away, he had the metal shavings in his body still. So in his later years, whenever he was in and out of the hospital, he had informed the nurses and doctors that he had metal shavings from shrapnels. And he served overseas in World War II. Very brave man, but he seldom talked about the war. He was a true hero, but he never bragged about it. He was in the Big Red One, which is an elite force. And he was a sharpshooter. His aim was perfect. And here's a little interesting trivia, fun fact. They asked him, how are you such a good shooter? He was honest. He was an honest man, and he told them he would shoot rats in the river because he grew up on Progress Street near Hines on the north side of Pittsburgh. And there were rats galore, so when he was a little boy, he would shoot rats.
Baby, it's true. One thing I do know, she's no longer mine. 20/20 vision and walking around blind. Lost her, oh, what will I do? I know you're not happy if she's there with you. Soon find your heart will have trouble like mine. 20/20 vision and walking round blind. I got 20/20 vision and walking round.
Want me to pack those?
And it seems like a huge bell now ringing, though you're many miles away. And many times in church on Sunday morning, the whole countryside gathered there. They would all kneel down at the altar as they lifted up our voice, say prayer. I love so well. Now I'm sad and lonely, yes I'm sad and lonely, for I don't like church anymore. We were singing the old song.
It's to her play your fiddle, please. Play some memories.
Here's some activities for kids, hands-on educational activities. It's called the Little Pioneer Activity Area.
Nothing left to hold on to.
Something for everyone here. Bring your dog. Your dog's welcome. Lots of dogs. And I'm a dog magnet. I love dogs. Oops, the craft and food vendors are selling their wares. You can see people are mingling amidst the craft and food vendors while listening to live music. Fallen off the trees. It's been such a dry summer, so I don't think the foliage is going to be too vivid this year. Vendors selling their wares. No, Rotary always has great food. It's not a festival without kettle corn. There's activities for kids, free face painting.
Gourmet bread she makes as well. I'm right now.
Had all the colors in it. And I was experimenting, putting more sand in it and that, like this one does, you know.
You'll help me to read it? Thank you. What do you help me?
Smoking
Okay, bye you guys, have a great day. Did you open? Okay. Probably, yeah.
You might want to look into it.
Yeah, right. Look again.
I told my God I was on a paddleboard without it, like
This is how kettle corn is made. McConnell's Mills has a playground for the kids. And also near the playground is the petting zoo. Petting zoo's always a favorite. Hi there.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. Can I go around?
I don't got no more food. You ate it all.
This little one is wants it all.
Give me. Look, guys. Oh my God.
Give it to him. Give him one.
Big.
Mama.
Oh,
Pack it.
Hey,
look.
Hey, Mama. Give me.
Grab it.
Give me. Daddy, you it's a bunny.
And the petting zoo is sponsored by Country Flair Farm. Oh.
get up there with your dad and pet.
I like this little girl.
Hi, Mama.
Yes, he would.
When you give the rope, it costs
See a rocking horse. got a line for the obligatory hayride shuttle, which is awesome. I love the hayride shuttle. To me, it's obligatory. I have to do it. Fall mums. My mums are home bloomed and they are beautiful. And the Wampum chapter of the North Country Trail is here, and they have group hikes throughout the year. And here kids can make walking sticks.
And then you go so present next week, and then from there we
You would stay on that and cut through, you get out of
No, there's a trail right there. Nice fungus. Be here in a few weeks to do my biannual Alpha Pass hike, so I'll get it done. Through the trees. Point of the park, which is the Gristmill Covered Bridge and Dam. And this is where the Alpha Pass Trail comes out. This is where I will be in a few more weeks. This is always a beautiful scene. Gristmill and Covered Bridge. down there, that little channel, that flows into the grist mill and it turns the turbines, or turbines. Here's pictures of the 4th floor, which the general public is not allowed up on the 4th floor. So, I'm just gonna flip through here. Top of buckwheat belt elevator.
Come on, Dad.
Top of wheat belt elevators. Notice marks on hand-hewn beams. And here's some of the items that were ground. I believe this was where they weighed the grain, and then there's the elevators. Steps to the 4th floor, and it's staff only. There's some of the equipment that was used. Oh my. Back then they had bring their wheat or grain, have it ground into flour, and they baked their own bread. So you didn't go to the nearest store to buy a loaf of bread. There's a portable platform scale that was used to weigh everything. But today you just run to the store, get your bread, but over 100 years ago wasn't quite that easy. Mose Wharton was the caretaker for 74 years, and he was a handyman and a fantastic swimmer. He was only 5'2". That's about how tall I am. He was a good boxer and a powerful swimmer. He rescued several swimmers from drowning and recovered a few bodies of those who didn't make it, quote. And he was born in 1860 near Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And his mom was a freed slave, and they moved to Newcastle, PA when he was 18.
Well, now that you have it on there, now that makes it different.
And he was the first black man most people in the area had ever seen, quote.
That makes sense.
And Mose Wharton passed away in 1954 at the age of 94 years old. There's a conveyor belt. And I'm going to head There's also some food and craft vendors set up down at the mill. So be sure you come and check them out. And right now it's bustling with activity. I'm on the second floor. There are another set of steps, but they are off limits. Moving grain. And this is the buckwheat cleaner. It removed the impurities from the grain. There's a cornmeal grinder. Now I could go for mush. I have to look up a recipe. I have cornmeal at home. And these here are the bagging chutes. Yeah, these steps are off limits. Buckwheat rolling mill. And here's the process of it. And you can pause the video so you can take a look at this. And they also ground animal feed here. Quote, the animal feeder grinder combined animal feed grains, corn, cobs, and oats and ground them up into smaller pieces for animal feed. Kind of looks like a locomotive engine. It's really neat. Here are some grinding wheels. And this wasn't the only mill along the banks of Slippery Rock Creek. In the 1830s, 40s, there was one that was located along today's Kildoo Trail. And you can still see the old stone foundation and the grinding stone at that location. And there was another mill here in 1852. But that mill caught fire in 1867. It was struck by lightning, and this one was built 1868. So the rolling mills ground the grain into flour, and then next it had to be separated and sifted, and then bugs in the bin. Yeah. So I'll just take a video of this sign. You can pause it, take your time reading it. And of course it attracted mice, rats, and moths.
Oh, are you serious?
Yuck. And this room here was the waiting room.
4 minutes. He said 4 minutes. It means something important.
There's an old lantern. And a portrait of Captain Thomas McConnell. Here are some of the original turbines. And this here is a flat bottom boat, and this allowed the workers to stand up while they were working on the dam. They would stand in this while they made repairs. See all the red in the rocks? That's the original foundation from 1852. And when the mill caught fire in 1867, the fire was so intense it brought the iron out.
Early in the side, that water wheel was probably about 12 to 15 feet in diameter. Now when you think about a water wheel, an overshot water wheel, water's coming over the top and it's hitting a few of those fins at a time. That's great if you're using millstones. Early in this mill's history, they were grinding with millstones, right? Our bathtub is right over there, and we don't need a big 12-foot diameter water wheel. McConnell was a big advocate of technology, and so when roller mills were invented in Hungary in 1878, he got on that. And by 1885, he replaced those millstones with roller mills, which you can find up to the wheat process. And then we had one for each process, so buckwheat and corn. And each of those are the 3 turbines that you see in the bathtub over there. So if you haven't been over, once we weighed our wheat, dumped it down the chute, no one needed to touch it again until we had a final product. And the way it moved up and down, it fell down the chutes and then got picked back up with these little cups. So again, another piece of equipment that is powered by turbines. So we're going to start up the mill. Do I have any young volunteers who want to start up the mill with me? The belt is broken, and as well as our roller mill, that belt's been kind of finicky, so unfortunately you can really see the shaft, the turbine spinning. That's going to spin all the way to the 4th floor, and also get the sound and the feel of it. All right, my volunteers, what we're actually going to do on the turbine to allow that water to flow through it. That's what's going to start our shaft spinning. So, on everyone who wants to help, put your hands on this wheel. Anyone who wants to help? We got room. And we're going to turn it this way, all right? All right? Keep going. Keep going. We got to get our mill started. Boss is saying we got grain to grind. Here we go.
There it is. There it goes.
We're going. Nice job.
So during the warmer months, the mill is open for tours, and there are guided tours. So I highly recommend you take the guided tour. They go into detail about how the mill worked. And also I want to point out, there were no smoking signs in the mill in the late 19th century. And that was before, that was way before you weren't allowed to smoke in buildings. The reason no smoking was allowed is because the particles were highly flammable, and one spark could set the place up in flames. It's mainly a safety thing. Dutch oven pizza. So make sure you grab a ride on the Hayride shuttle and come on down to the grist mill.
I bought this for like 8 years to learn it, and finally a guy brought us the music.
Pilot the furnace. Oh, I missed that.
Called the Field Staff and Rights, a 2-story flat.
Oh my. Missed that. Too.
The guy knew everything.
something like this in my driveway because I have some raised beds. I already have one. I have to go get some more native plants. What I mean by native plants, they were here before European settlers arrived on U.S. soil. There's some goldenrod. You know how it goes. As high as the goldenrod is how much snow we're going to get. And goldenrods do not cause allergies. It's the ragweed that causes allergies. Nodding onion. So this upside down hanging flower of the nodding onion and other similar flowers allow the plant to attract bees to help in pollination while discouraging visits from other insects. Quote. Interesting. Milkweed, bee balm, Joe Pye weed, these plants are all native to Western PA, and they can also be found at Jennings. It's pretty. Some buckwheat pancakes. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them. I love listening to Celtic Creek by the creek. That's why they're set up down here. Very appropriate. I can smell the creek smell. Love that smell. Some kayakers. I guess they're just going to slide down the rock into the water. Since they are doing whitewater kayaking, they have helmets on and life jackets. You have to remember safety. But depending on conditions, Slippery Rock Creek is rated Class 2 to Class 4. They carry their kayaks down because you are not allowed to run the dam. These guys prefer falling into 20 feet of water instead of 2 inches of water. There he goes. At least 20 feet of water, I have a cushion. Another one. Another thing you want to watch out for are strainers, and they are found downstream near Harris Bridge. Water can flow through, but objects can't. So just watch out for strainers. There's the covered bridge. And this was built 1874, and it's the Howard Truss Bridge. And do you know there's another covered bridge in Lawrence County? It's called the Banks Covered Bridge. That one is closer to the New Wilmington area, so I highly recommend you check that one out too. I still want to drive to Indiana County and do the covered bridge tour, and some hiking while I'm there. If you do go down this little trail to get pictures, please be careful, because those rocks can be slick. You can get some nice photos. Personally, I've never walked down there to get pictures because I don't think it's worth getting hurt for a picture. That's just how I feel. And that's the trailhead for the Kildoo Trail, and it is a 3-mile loop. Takes you to Eckerd Bridge, and you cross the bridge, and then you come back on the other side. And that trail is difficult because you constantly have to watch your step. And this is the Kildoo Trail. This side of the trail, the first 400 yards are paved. So it's asphalt. It's still bumpy, so you still want to watch your step. I'm not hiking today. I'll be here in a few weeks to do my biannual Alpha Pass hike. I do have my hiking boots and socks in the car. And just FYI, the Kildoo Trail is blazed in yellow. And I see the Hayride shuttle bringing passengers down to the historic grist mill. Yeah, I don't know how vivid the foliage is going to be this year. It's been a hot, dry summer. I'm still going to be out hiking and bike riding regardless. So a lot of leaves just fall off the trees because it's been so dry. I love these demonstrations because they are hands-on, and that's the best way to learn history is hands-on. I'm a hands-on learner myself.
You don't mind that I might not do well for the 83 to 4%. 184%.
Okay, thank you.
Here's where you can do some grinding. So this festival is very hands-on. You not only get to see history, but you get to experience it. And Celtic Creek is playing some relaxing music. Their name's appropriate because they're Slippery Rock Creek. for the hayride shuttle and head back up to the Hilldew picnic area. Oh, yeah.
There we go. It's like you can see the waterfalls like it's coming.
It'll put you in the ballpark. I use straight boiling water. It does not take long.
You just dip it.
Dip it right in. You watch it there. It'll come out perfection. When you pull it out.
Nice long line for the hayride shuttle. I'm back up at the Hilldew picnic area. And this is a great crowd. I was going to come tomorrow after church, but then I checked the forecast. It's going to be all-day rain. And a lot of people had the same idea as I did. What's that? Crazy Piper Ironworks.
Oh, you should see all the dogs out here, man. There's a lot of people out here with their dogs. Sure. Thank you.
That poor dog contemplates. It got her. And then right there. The green and the... She had that color.
I'm going to check out the car show. Usually there's like at least a half a dozen, but today there are only 2 besides the Butler built cars, partially because of the weather and the fall festival is going on in Main Street, Butler. Butler Old Stonehouse Region Antique Automobile Club of America. So they preserve vehicles built in Butler. It's a 53 Chevy truck.
I know it's saying you for time. Thank you.
That's just a liability. That's not even the operating.
And you have to ask why.
Why? And there's no reason for why. But that's the Bantam building. That's scheduled out doing anything.
Where's this located? That's the time I gave him a tour.
Somebody's going to try to preserve. I have no idea what it is.
And Butler should be proud of its automotive heritage. Okay, I'm going to take one last look and I'm probably going to be getting going here soon. Haven't seen Abe Lincoln yet. He's here every year.
We have a bag. And what is this, a deer? That's an elk. It's an elk. That was my next guess.
Well, smoke high on the gamble, all my money is my own. If memory don't like me, you can leave me alone. I'm a pale old county, gonna make the glass ring. More brandy, more brandy, more brandy. With river, and
I was gonna say, is it for pouring?